in the name of Rav Una, Kol Adam sheyesh bo yirat shamayim, every person who has yirat shamayim, dvarav nishma'in. So when he says something, people listen to him. Sheneimar, as it says, Sof davar akol nishma. In the end, one way of interpreting this is that in the end, people will listen to you. Akol nishma. And then it says, Et Elohim yir'ah. So the pasuk, one way that they are interpreting it within this context is that a person's speech, which is listened to, is connected to having Irat Hashem. V'gomer. Mai, and then the pasuk afterwards, let's see if I have the full pasuk here.
Has it in English?
Sof davar, you want to read it? I'll read it in Hebrew and then you want. Sof davar kol nishma et Elohim yir'ah ve'et mitzvotav shamo ki ze kol ha'adam. How's in English?
The end of the matter, all having been heard, who keeps his commandments, for this is all of man.
So the beginning of that pasuk, they're interpreting it as you have yirat shamayim, people listen to you, to what you have to say, your input, whatever. What does the end of the pasuk mean? Ki ze kol ha'adam. What does this mean? What does it mean? This is all that a person is. Amar Rabbi Elazar, Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, Rabbi Elazar said, he said that Hashem said, Kol ha'olam kulo lo nivra ela bishvil ze. The entire world was not created except for that one specific person. Rabbi Abba Bar Kana Amar Shakul Ze Keneged Kol Ha'olam Kulo. And also, like the entire world, if you weigh it, this one person in the entire world, Shakul Keneged, like equals the whole world. What does that mean? Rabbi Yishmael ben Azai Omer Ve'amri la, Rabbi Yishmael ben Zoma Omer Kol ha'olam kulo lo nivra ela letzavot לזה. ועוד אמר רבי ישמעאל שאומרים, כן, זה לא בלבד שחייב להחזיר שלום. שנייה. כי זה כל העולם כולו שנברא בשביל זה, אם כן זה, אדם זה שהוא מושלם. The idea of זה is like a perfect person, a person that does every mitzvah, that is fearful of Hashem, fearful of Shamayim. Utachlit shel kol ha'adam. That the tachlit, that's like the purpose of every person, to try to become that type of person, to try to become, to the best of our abilities, the best version of ourselves that we can. Ki ze kol ha'adam, because that is like our mission in life. For that is the world is created, and there's an idea that we see the whole world as being created for us specifically. That's Pele Ploim, because that's within Hashem's ability to literally create a whole world for each individual one of us. And Zelo Soter, like it doesn't contradict your world, doesn't contradict mine, because that's how infinitely powerful Hashem is. That we need to look at the world like that. Everything that we have, every interaction, the whole world is created for you specifically, for you to become the best version of yourself, to be aligned with who you know, who you really are deep inside, who you want to be, what type of legacy you want to leave, be in the world, what type of name, whatever it is. There's many different. And if you do that through the lens of Torah, ze kol ha'adam. Mamash. So the rabbis bring in multiple explanations, but I think that kind of captures shakul ze keneged kol ha'olam. So they explain from a few angles. Ken shekol bnei adam yachad shkulim hem kenegdo. And then he says also that a person that is like this, that it's like trying to fulfill. I'm adding my own interpretation as well. You're trying to fulfill your mission in the world, but in a kosher way, through the lens of the Torah, which includes spreading Torah too. Like I'm hoping what you learned here, maybe you're repeating it out there, and it seems like you are already. You're inviting other people to share. That's amazing. But that's the idea. Like we become ambassadors for this mission that we have as individuals, as part of the Jewish people. Mm-hmm. So it's like this back and forth between who we are as people, but also Torah. It's all related. So he says here that this one person, shakul keneged kol ha'anashim ha'acherim. It's like he's as important as all the other people together. Okay, so that's sort of the idea of the multiple explanations that they give. So now we're moving on. They start with another teaching. This is like Allah that they're telling us. whoever we know is going to say hello to us, we should yakdim lo shalom. We should say hello first. Or he's going to ask you how you doing. You should ask him how to. Shneimar, as it says, bakesh shalom veratfeu, because we have a pasuk which says we should ask for shalom and we should chase shalom. I don't know if he says last week. There's like many shuls all over the world called rodef shalom. A lot of it's a big precept in the idea that we should go after shalom. Ve'im natanu velo echzil, and if we said shalom to someone. And this happened to me many times that I say hello to someone, they left me hanging in the air. So maybe a different. Nifgati me say many times, like it hurt me a little bit. Like it happened to you also. Mm-hmm. Like I really maybe took it too seriously. I felt like probably right. Like wow, this guy really hurt me. Okay, well, whatever the situation was. As it says here, interestingly, whoever does that, nikra gazlan, is called a thief. Why? Shneimar, as it says, ve'atem bi'altem hakerem gzelat ha'ani bebatechem. As it says, I wish I could translate that better than what I'm going to translate. Shemin ha'ani, ve'atem bi'altem, like you got rid of the kerem, of the vine, that I don't know, that you like stole from the poor person from his home. Because I'm understanding it as like the poor person only has like the one vine that he's making his wine from, and that's all he has to live, and like you come and you destroy. I don't know if that's exactly the literal meaning. Ishaya, it's a pasuk from Ishaya, but the rabbi here, he explaining it, like he's not translating it really here on the Hebrew version. He just says Shemin ha'ani she'en noel kvodo atzmi gozlim she'en onim lo al birkato. Kitzo, whoever is a poor person, all they have is their honor. So when you're stealing even that from him, you're calling. You're you're a thief. Okay. New, I believe this is just like a new, it's continuing a Galata, but here on the Hebrew I have it on like a Ziyud. So meaning all this here was key to one idea. Now they're starting back with Aleph. So they want to go to totally new ideas, even though it's still Galata. Ve'amar Rabbi Yochanan mishum Rabbi Yossi. So Rabbi Yochanan said, and then we have Rabbi Yossi, Minayin shakadosh baruch hu mitpalel. From where do we learn that Hashem prays? As it says, Shneimar, Ve'haviotim et hal kochi ve'simachtim bebeit tfilati. I understood this as Hashem is going to bring us to His holy mountain, and either He will make us happy or we will make Him happy. I don't understand the context. Bebeit tfilati, in my house of prayer. So Mimela, we learn if he has a house of prayer, Mimela he prays. It's like guy has tennis rackets. Do you play tennis? No. A little weird, no? Okay.
Yeah.
But lehavdil, lehavdil. But here, he prays tfilatam, and the Gemara continues and says tfilatam lo ne'emar. It doesn't say your prayer, Am Yisrael. It says tfilati, my prayer. It's Hashem's prayer. Ken mikan shekadosh baruch hu mitpalel. From here we learn that Hashem prayer. You read the daf before we sit here?
No, I didn't.
Really?
No.
Oh, I thought you read it before.
I sometimes try to catch up backwards. I read backwards, but sometimes before it. Shabbos, if there's I take out the Gemara and Shabbos and Shul if there's time. But
nice. Yeah. Okay, very good. So that's the idea. Kitzo Hashem prays. My matzalei. Matzalei is to pray in Aramaic. Amar Rav Zutra Bar Tuvia Amar Rav. So what the rabbis are asking, what does he pray? So one of the opinions says Vihi ratzon milefanai. She'ichbeshu achamai et kaasai. Yehi ratzon is shall be the will. Shnia. I'm just gonna bad translate it, poorly translate it. Yehi ratzon milefanai. It's like it should be my will. It should be my will. She'ichbeshu achamai et kaasai. That my loving kindness should take hold of my anger. Okay, without continuing to read, I think that's also for us is a good idea. It should be the same. Ve'yagolu rachamai al midota. The same idea, and like I guess my rachamim, Hashem's loving kindness, should like guide his midot, his behavior. I guess. I don't know if we're getting sidetracked, but rachamim. There's different types of ideas. There's rachamim. There's also chemla. There's also rachamim. Is considered, it's related to the word rechem.
Okay.
So rechem is the
Hello.
welcome.
Grab a Gemara.
Oh. So rechem is the womb.
Yeah.
And the rachamim also has the word maim in it. So the same way the womb is like, how would you say that? It's like all encompassing, like it just completely surrounds. So it's a type of love that's in a way like water, which is, it completely surrounds it, but in a way it could be a little bit too much. So it's just, and there's this chemla. Chemla is like when a dad tells the son, sees him crying on the floor, the mom will be like, like all around, you know what I mean? And the father's like, no, come on, just get up. It's two different types of love. Okay. Maybe you need help finding a...
So I got it.
Yeah. I think it's... Oh, okay. So we're on Daf Zayin Amud Aleph. 5 lines from the top.
Squeeze in here. Squeeze in here. You don't have to hide behind the laptop.
Free warm to see. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. On purpose. We're right at the top.
We heard about your mother in the hospital, so we hope that she has a refuah shleima.
Thank you. Well, she's in the long-term facility, so it's like a stable, but just requires care. Thank you.
Okay, so
But I said the refuah shleima would be.
refuah shleima, and we learn, and hopefully, everybody could get whatever whatever we all. Whatever we want, but it's more than that. It's not just that. Yeah.
She had a good day.
So we're on the over here. Mai matzalei. Mai matzalei. What does Hashem pray? Hashem prays. Mai matzalei amar Rav Zuta bar Tovia amar Rav v'hi ratzon milefnai sheichvechshu rachamai et kasai. It shall be my will that my rachamim, my loving kindness, should control my anger. And the same idea that my loving kindness should control my behavior. Rachamai al midotai. V'naheg im banai b'midat rachamim, and I should behave with my children with loving kindness. V'kanes lahem lifneim mishurat adin. And I should give them a little slack when cutting them, when judging them. Okay. Tanya amar Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha. So now there's a story of Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha, which from the context I understood he was a Kohen Gadol. One time I entered the Kodesh HaKadoshim to do the Ktoret, the context it's Yom Kippur. It must be Yom Kippur with he has the it's a long time, but he has the pan. It's an interesting procedure. He has the pan. There's a whole thing because he has to. It's like he has to hold the coals in a pan under his, because he doesn't have enough hand. It's a whole procedure. Kitzel, it's like a very hard thing, and he has the kitzel. Okay.
And the blood, I think, right? The other, bringing the blood into the Kodesh HaKadoshim?
I don't think so. I think, maybe. I really don't remember. It's been a long time since I learned. I remember hearing this shiur and be like, that's like a crazy, with the coals over here and the other thing here and the other thing here. It's like, how do you move? It's truly and fasting and having shechted. I don't know how many bowls and how many. Okay, it's a whole thing. In the meantime, in shul, the guys are passing shmaktel back, and okay, no, okay. So that's the Ken nichnasti. So the Kohen here, Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha, פעם אחת נחלצתי להכתיב קטורת לפני ולפנים. Yeah, he went to do the Ktoret in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. V'ra'iti akatriel ka Hashem tzvaot. An angel who has that name, akatriel ka Hashem tzvaot. שהוא יושב על כיסא רם וניסה, who's sitting, on a כיסא רם וניסה. ואמר לי, and he said to me,
it says here, it's not an angel, it's actually is Hashem. It says Katriel is one of the names of Hashem.
Oh, thank you. You're right. Okay, thank you for.
No problem.
I was going to ask because I think it's Yoshev Al Kisei Ram Manisa sounds like Hashem's Kisei. How would a angel sit there?
Yeah, no, I just from a קיצור, רפאל, רביאל, לא יודע, כאילו confusing כזה, לא יודע, לא, I didn't read it twice. Okay. Okay, so he saw, what does the rabbi say? Let me see, Aleph, just to be sure here. שהוא משמותיו המסתוריים של הקדוש ברוך הוא. Okay, one of his secret names or whatnot. One of his special names, maybe one of his מסתוריים. Okay. Right? So sitting in the kisei Ram Benisa ve'amar li, and he said to me, Yishmael bni barcheni, Ishmael, my son, bless me. אמרתי לו, I said to him, יהי רצון מלפניך, שיכבשו רחמיך על את כעסך. It should be your will that, you know, in English it doesn't translate so well, but it's יהי רצון מלפניך. It's an interesting language.
Yeah.
יהי רצון מלפניך. Like, שיכבשו רחמיך את כעסך ויגולו רחמיך על מידותיך ותתנהג עם בניך במידת הרחמים ותיכנס להם לפנים משורת הדין. More or less the same thing we just learned before, a few lines. So he just blessed Hashem to, you know, let your kas, your anger be a little bit controlled, you know, behave towards your children with a little bit of rach, more loving kindness, especially as you're judging them. Okay. Ali be'rosho. And so he said that the figure, the embodiment that he saw in that name, kind of like went like that, like agreed. V'kamash malan. And so what do we learn from this? Kamash
Pretty
malan.
amazing because he's basically saying he saw the image of Hashem in a way.
That's
In a figure, not a literal way, but in some imagery of sorts, right? Because
that'd be an interesting thing. They don't really give the context of the dynamics of how that would happen, but I don't know if in the notes they explain over there in the English or
here it says in a vision. So he didn't really see him. It's like that God.
He had a nevuah. He had a nevuah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because in nevuot usually only Moshe Rabbeinu has an awake nevuah. But that was my sin, and so he says v'kamash malan. It'd be interesting to see maybe in the small notes in the footprint, maybe there's some idea of how it works out, but gadol alai, you know, katonti me'lehavin. Like
Here, listen.
Let's see.
This vision is also the object of many interpretations. While some say that Rabbi Yishmael, the high priest, saw only the vision of an angel, most commentaries maintain that this was a prophecy seen by the high priest upon entering the Holy of Holies. The revelation of this vision is not in God's desire for man's blessing, but in the essence of the blessing. I mean, that's what they were talking about before. So, yeah, so it's, I don't know, it doesn't say much more. But it says prophecy. This is Rav Chai Gaon.
So prophecy. So it was in the shape of an angel, maybe?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So it was a Shem, maybe. Okay, there's imagery. Okay. So what do we learn from the story? V'kamash malan. What's the nafka mina? Shelo tihe birkat hadiot kala b'einecha. That when someone who you think is lower than you, socially, economically, spiritually, culture, whatever it is, however you define that.
That's where we learn it from. Interesting.
It should not be light when someone blesses you. You should take that seriously. Okay. You know, someone is like, there's enough people out there cursing, so if you give a bracha, I'll take it. I'll take it. Take it, you know. But I'm saying that as a joke. Really, here is a deeper level, which is really like you know, it's more of like our judgment and how we see people around us, and really like, you know, a certain level on an ava to say, you know what, should not take it lightly. Okay, so that's sort of the end of that first section there. Continuing, ve'amar Rabbi Yochanan mishum Rabbi Yossi. Said Rabbi Yochanan in the name of Rabbi Yossi, minayin she'em meratzin lo la'adam bishat kaso. How do we know that we shouldn't try to appease someone who's still in the middle of their anger, of being very angry? As it says, panai yelechu va'anichoti lach. אמר לו הקדוש ברוך הוא למשה, המתן לי עד שיעברו פנים של זעם ואניח לך. And so we learn that from Hashem because Hashem said to Moshe, wait for me until my face of wrath will pass. I don't know, and I will answer you or give you or whatever he was asking. He was asking him something. And whoever said that anger applies to Hashem? We say that Hashem is infinite, right? So Hashem cannot be described with our musagim. The truth is, we describe with our musagim because that's how we understand. Like when we explain something to a child, we have to explain it to them in their understanding.
Even when Hashem says, hurry up, or he's mad, it's just a way for us to understand the situation, but his anger is not like our anger. He decides that this is how he needs to act, and that represents discontent, whatever it is, but he doesn't have emotion, so to speak. Or he does, when we don't understand what that means.
We understand that. Yeah.
In other words, we can't say what he does or doesn't have.
I think we believe that, everything he does is for good, for our good. Like he has this infinite amount of love for all of us. I think that's, I think I could say that about certain things in my life that have happened over the years. Like there's definitely, I could feel it. Some other times in the moment, you don't feel it. It's hard. But that's the idea. Sometimes we think Hashem is angry at us when in reality, it's the context is what makes us believe that he's angry. So because that's how we interpret and we understand it. Same with kids. Abba, this, Abba, you hurt me, whatever, you hate. No, what is it? Kids always take it like the extreme sometimes, like to the extreme. Like, you hate me, for example. Not really, Kido. It's just the context. You need a little discipline right now. It's not look, I love you so much. That's why I'm trying to put you on a schedule, because you need the schedule. Simple as that. Okay. So that was a bit of my own explanation. The Gemara takes it in a different direction. They asking the question, who said that Hashem gets angry? So the rabbis answer, yeah, he gets angry. The Tanya, as it says, V'kel zo'em b'chol yom. As it says, Hashem zo'em, he has this anger, like a wrath, every day. V'chama zamo, and how long does this anger last? Rega. It lasts a moment. V'chama rega, and how long is a moment? אחד מחמשת ריבו 8,888 בשעה. So if you take an hour and you divide it by 58,888, that's how long a moment is. וזוהי רגע. ואין כל פרי יכול לכוון אותה שעה, and nobody can really know, can לכוון, nobody can point when that time really is, except for one person, בלעם הרשע, Bilam. דכתיב בי, as it says, "Ve'yodea da'at elyon," as he says that he knows the higher knowledge. And so the rabbis obviously are going to ask, "Hashta da'at behemto lo hava yada, da'at elyon hava yada." We know from the story that the what's it called, the chamol, the donkey, he was disagreeing with the donkey, was trying to tell him. I don't know. Right now it's coming up, that parsha.
Donkey saw the angel and he didn't.
So he got angry, right? He kicked him or something. He hit him, and then he goes, "Why are you hitting me?" So Kitzel, he's saying you didn't know what your donkey was saying or knew what your donkey knew. You're gonna say you know what's the higher knowledge. How could that be? That's not what that means. Ela, instead, what it means is melamed shaya yodea lechaven ota sha'a shekadosh baruch hu koes ba. What it means is that he knew exactly the moment that Hashem is angry. והיינו דאמר להו נביא לישראל, as it says in the Navi, עמי זכר נא מה יעץ בלק מלך מואב, as it says in the Navi, which Navi is it from?
Micha.
From Micha. עמי זכר מה יעץ מלך מואב ומה ענה אותו בלעם בן באור מן השיטים עד הגלגל למען דעת צדקות השם. So it says here, my people, remember what Balak, the king of Moab, was like, what was his recommendation to do to us, better? And so they're going to ask now, and what does it mean at the end of the pasuk where it says, Leman da'at tzidkot Hashem, which is the end of the pasuk where it talks about that we shall remember what Balak was trying to do. What does it mean? Leman da'at titkot Hashem. What does it mean that it is for so that we know the goodness or the justice, the good justice that Hashem, titkot Hashem, like the good just. How does it translate that? The good justices of Hashem.
The righteous acts.
Righteous acts. Okay. אמר רבי אלעזר, says רבי אלעזר, אמר להם הקדוש ברוך הוא לישראל, דעו כמה צדקות עשיתי עמכם שלא כעסתי בימי בלעם הרשע. What does it mean? It means, look how much kindness I did for you, that I didn't get angry in the days of Bilam. שאלמלא כעסתי, that had I gotten angry, לא נשתהה משונאיהם של ישראל שריד ופליט. Had I gotten angry, there would have not been left, not even one survivor from the haters of Israel. Now, the haters of Israel here, I'm not sure where he gets it from. I think it's from the context. It's not a Rashi. I know Rav Schneizel's here is saying that that's just a clean way of saying us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
as if we're not all bad, but only the bad ones of Israel. You're saying it's misanehem. Oh, shel Israel of. It's a play on words.
It's a play on words to not say Yisrael. There's an idea like that in Shas. Also, the Rambam does it, like even to curse Hashem. There's all these halachot like to curse Hashem, but the Rambam always says birkat Hashem. He doesn't mean to bless. He means to curse. It's just that they don't like to use the negative word sometimes. So, okay. So from that we learned that Hashem did a lot of goodness for us in those days. And also how Bilam said to Balak, Ma ekov lo kavo. Like, how can I curse a people Hashem didn't curse? Lo kevokel. Uma is lo za'am Hashem. And what could I be angry? Like, how could I create anger or wrath if Hashem is not angry? Shows us that Hashem during those days did not get angry at us, or did not get angry at all. And how long does this anger last? Rega. And how long does the moment, how long is that moment? The rabbis say, Rega kemimre. So, however long it takes you to say the word rega. Okay, that's how long. Maybe do a competition who could say the quickest. That's how long. That's the shortest. And whoever can say the longest, that's how long. So we have a good range of options. Okay, maybe take the average of those two. Okay, so כן. ומינן Uman al rega ratach, and from where do we know Bechlal that Hashem only gets angry for a moment? Rega, sheneimar, it says, ki rega be'apo chaim birtzono. It says, rega be'apo chaim birtzono. A moment of its anger, life is in his will. How does he translate it?
His anger is but for a moment, his favor for a lifetime.
Okay, רגע באפו חיים ברצונו. Maybe it's okay. ברצונו, בוא נראה. I feel like maybe it's like there's more to the pasuk, no? Or maybe not. שנאמר כי באפו חיים ברצונו, אורי על הדבר. No, it doesn't bring it here. Okay, so that seems to be it. But רגע באפו.
Here's it. רגע באפו חיים ברצונו, בערב ילין בכי ולבוקר רינה.
Oh, here it says?
כי רגע באפו חיים ברצונו בערב ילין בכי ולבוקר רינה.
Okay. So his anger is only for the moment, and his loving kindness or life is for his loving kindness is for life. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that kindness is forever.
Kindness is forever. Okay. So from there we learned that rega be'apo, like that's how we learned that only a moment is when he's angry. And if you want to say, we're learning it from a different pasuk, chavi chimat rega ad yavol zam. So from that we learn also that after a moment, his anger will pass. From that pasuk. What does the word chavi mean?
It says hide.
So hide for a moment until his wrath will pass. Okay, makes sense. שהרי זעם השם עבור כרגע עובר כעבור רגע. Okay, so Hashem's wrath will pass after a moment. New idea, ואימת רתח. So the question becomes now, when is this moment that he's angry? Amar Abaye said, "Be'anach tlat shai kamayata ki chivara karbalta de tarnegola v'kaya achad kar'a." Basically, the first 3 hours of the day, because there's an idea here of a tarnegol, of a rooster who stands on one leg, and they have a red thing. I don't know, is it on the top, on the bottom?
I think they're talking the one on top because it says in English crest. So the crest is the
one on the top. So it says here that it like loses a little bit of the blood, becomes, I'm assuming that's why it's red.
Yeah.
It becomes a little white, and from that they're saying that they're deducing from that the life force in general in the whole world diminishes a little bit. כן, ואנך תלת שי קיימה כי חיבה קרנבו דתרנבו, כן, שהחיים מסתלקים מהם והם מחבירים לפתע, כן, בעצם החיים מסתלקים מהם, like the life force kind of goes away from them a little bit. Okay, כל שעת ושעת נמי אחי קאי. And so the rabbis answered, no, but every hour is the same thing. Every hour the rooster has the same thing where his crest turns a little white. So why is this a special siman? So then they say, Kol sh'ata idbe shuraika sumke. So he's saying that during the rest of the day, when it turns white, there's still some red left. באותה שעה שהקדוש ברוך הוא חי, אין בה חוטים אדומים.
Absolutely.
I agree.
We're on page Zayin Amud Aleph. So but in the Sha'ah, the time that Hashem gets angry that moment that he's angry, there's no red at all. Okay. Ahumina they have okay. Ahumina they have dishvavute de Rabbi Yishmael ben Levi. And so now it continues with a story that there was some type of some type of how do you say min in English?
It's a heretic.
Heretic, thank you. There was a heretic who was neighbors with Rabbi Yishmael ben Levi, or was in his vicinity. And he would often tease him. I don't know exactly what the context was, but he would come after him with psukim, and he would just stop. He didn't really want to learn. He would come with psukim to start with the Rav. Okay. יום אחד שקל תרנגולה ועוקמי בין קרעי דאלסה ועין בי. So one day, what the rabbi do? בעין בי קררה דאלסה סבל כי מטה השעתה אטלייתה. So he took a rooster and he placed him in between, by his bed, and he said, whenever the time that Hashem gets angry at the world comes, I'm gonna know because I'll see the rooster turning white. Like the red part turns white when Hashem is angry at the world. It's a siman for life in general. Istalek, like to be diminished or hidden a little bit from the world for a moment.
It was Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi who did this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it said there.
Well, you'll see.
Okay. והקה מצר אלה איתו בקרי, יום אחד שקל, תרן לאוקם מבן קרי, דארסה ועין בי, סבר כי מתה האיש עתה עלת יי. Okay. Again, so בקיצור, he did a pretend to try to find what time exactly Hashem is getting angry, because I guess the general klal is that people don't know when that is, other than Bilam in those days. כשבא אותה שעה נרדם, and then he did all that with the rooster. Can you imagine putting a rooster, bringing him upstairs, making sure he has water, making sure he has the food, a blanket, okay, and then you did all that work and he fell asleep.
But he wants to do it because when Hashem's angry, then he's going to curse the guy, the heretic, and the heretic will be gone.
Right.
So
That was his plan.
that was the plan.
Little devious, yes. So he fell asleep though. כן, כי אמר יהושע בן לוי לעצמו שמע מינה, מה שנרדם, לאו אורח ערה למוות דרכי, אין דרך ארץ, כן לעשות כן. So then he noticed from the fact that he fell asleep, he realized that, oh, maybe this is not such a kosher thing to do, to curse someone, and to try to figure out, and to curse him, okay. ואין ראו לקרוא אנשים, ואפילו הם חוטאים. בקיצור, the rabbi learned from all this that it's not כדאי to curse people, even if they're sinners. כן. As it says, "Ve'achamav al kol ma'asav." Okay, Hashem, loving kindness, He has mercy for His creations. Ktiv uchtiv, and it also says, "Gam anush latzadik lo tov," and also it's not good for a tzaddik to have someone else get punished because the tzaddik said so or the tzaddik initiated that punishment. Okay. Tan mishmei Rabbi Meir b'sha'a she'achama zorachat. So another teaching from in the name of Rabbi Meir, in the time where the sun is coming out, we learned this sugya almost a month or two ago, but okay, when the sun is coming out, right, you have the 3 hours, the 3 hours of from sunrise until 3 hours that we say the bracha for the Shema. בכל מלכי מזרח ומערב מניחין כתריהם בראשיהם ומשתחווים לחמה. So they have an interesting minhag that the kings of the world, they put on their crown and they bow and worship the sun. Miyat koes HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Hashem gets angry immediately at that. I don't know if they still do that. I don't know, number one, where there are any kings other than England, and I don't know if the king of England even have access to his own crown. Maybe it's in a museum somewhere, I don't know.
There's other kings.
There's got to be other kings, right?
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia has a king?
Yeah.
Okay. There's other kings. King of Indonesia has a king? Okay, never mind. But the general idea is that Hashem gets very angry at this behavior. ואמר רבי יוחנן משום רבי יוסי, and so Rabbi Yochanan said, in the name of Rabbi Yosef, טובה מרדות אחת בליבו של אדם יותר מכמה מלכויות. Oh, this is an interesting cloud. It is better for us to do tshuva out of our own will, for mardut achad, for us to say, I did something wrong. It's better than getting 100 lashes, or it's better than getting multiple lashes.
Just like saying you did something wrong?
If you feel guilty, that does more for you than somebody punishing you.
There's nothing to say if somebody punishes you and you still don't think you did anything wrong.
Right.
There's the difference. Okay,
We have no choice now because we can't get malchus. So we have to be extra
Guilty.
what?
Not extra guilty.
Or remorseful at least. Better do a better tshuva because we can't. In a way, malchus is a kapara.
Yes. Yeah. Here they're bringing it more as the Indian of someone else is telling you doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So we don't have malchus, but somebody in your life is telling you doing something wrong over and over again. Ulai yesh mashu. Ulai yesh mashu. But he's saying that even that it's better when a person from himself realizes that he has something to fix. I've noticed that everything is like when it comes from within, it's much stronger. ערדות טובה, כן, לשון רידוי והכנעה שאדם שם על ליבו מעליו. Okay, so there's a certain level of הכנעה, of humbleness that comes from that. ואמר רבי יוחנן משום רבי יוסף טובה, מרדות אחת מליבו של אדם יותר מכמה נקודות, שנאמר ורדפה את מאווה. As it says in משלי נראה לי, הושע. Verified Ma'aveh, and she, it's talking about look from the I didn't go over there. I should have maybe, but I didn't, to look at the pasuk and to read all the. Okay, but the idea I believe is that it's talking about basically us in a way, but it's also talking about a specific woman. Verified Ma'aveh, she's looking for her lovers, Vegomel, and then כנראה they didn't want her anymore, ואמרה, אלך ואשובה אל אישי הראשון, כי טוב לי אז מעתה. And so I shall return to my original husband, because back then it was much better for me, my matzav, than how my life is now. In a way, this is the same for us, right, with Hashem. So it's the whole year maybe we're pursuing other things. Tshuva, when Elul comes, we have a little more emphasis on doing tshuva and all the other things. And that's the idea, to go to. We are basically like trying to go back to Hashem. Okay, it's all related. וריש לקיש אמר, and ריש לקיש says, יותר ממאה מלכויות שנאמר, תאחת גערה במבין מהכות כסיל מאה. או, תאחת. What does Rashi say on that? תאחת גערה מבין, תאחת גערה באדם מבין טובה מהכות כסיל מאה. תאחת התם למעלה תאחת ביתה ולא... אלא הכנעה היא בעצמה. Okay, the idea is... If I understood this correctly, it's a rebuke. One rebuke in a person who really understands what he's being told is better than giving 100 lashes to someone who's a ksil, someone who's a... What's a ksil?
It's fool here. But
A fool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, even in the Talmud, that word appears a lot in the ksil. Okay. So that's the end of the idea. Now they start into a different one. ואמר רבי יוחנן משום רבי יוסי, 3 דברים ביקש משה מלפני הקדוש ברוך הוא ונתן לו. 3 things Hashem asked Hashem for, ביקש שתשרה שכינה על ישראל ונתן לו. So Moshe asked Hashem 3 things. He said the 3 things he received. The first one was that the Shekhinah should dwell on Am Yisrael. And it says here that and he agreed. Hashem gave it that to us. שנאמר, הלא בלכתך עמנו. The pasuk says over there, משמעו השראת השכינה לישראל. כן, בקיצור, the pasuk hints at that the Shekhinah is going with us, or it's with us. ביקש שלא תשרה שכינה על אומות העולם ונתן לו. Moshe also asked, in addition, do not rest your Shekhinah on the other nations, please. Shene'emal, and so Hashem agreed, as it says, "Veniflinu ani ve'amecha." Is that what Sarah said? Maybe when something about she was told that she was going to have a baby. Ha'ipalem me'Hashem davar. Much kazeh.
Exactly.
Pele. What a pele! Like what a. So we as a people, we are a pele b'etzem. Beniflino, all of us together with Hashem were like elevated because they were amazing. I don't know. That's how he's translating over there?
Yeah, distinguished.
Distinguished. Thank you. Okay. שנאמר, לא בכתכים העם ביקש שלום, כן. ונתנו שנאמר, הודיעני, כן, ביקש להודיעו דרכיו של הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונתנו, Moshe also asked Hashem, please show me your ways. Explain to me your ways. We're going to see what that means. And Hashem agreed, as it says, שנאמר, הודיעני נא את דרכיך. The pasuk doesn't really, I'm not understanding how that's confirming that Hashem agreed. It just said, הודיעני נא את דרכיך. The pasuk says here, Moshe is saying here, please show me, teach me your ways of justice. How do you do justice in the world? The pasuk, does it say, is there a full pasuk over there? Mm-hmm. Does it say like Hashem agreeing? I'm just understand this as Moshe.
ואתה אם מצאתי חן בעיניך, הודיעני נא את דרכיך ועדתך למען אמצא חן בעיניך, וראה כי עמך הגוי הזה. So it doesn't say how he answered him, it just said he asked the question.
So they're using that to prove that Hashem agreed. They just said now that Hashem agreed to his bakasha. Okay, we'll see. Maybe in the you'll see it. One of the options I didn't actually agree, but okay. So maybe it's interesting because now I'm reading it again, and maybe that's like that pasuk. It's not really a raya. It's not really a proof because it's just saying the question that I like that Moshe asked. Please show me the ways, your ways of justice. Ve'amar lefanav ribono shel olam. So what was he really asking? Mipnei ma yesh tzadik v'tov lo. How is it that a person can be righteous and then his life is good? He has a good life. Ve'yesh tzadik v'ra lo. How could it be that there's another different righteous person and his life is misery? How is that possible? Yesh rasha, and also yesh rasha v'tov lo. How could it be that there's evil people in the world and life is good for them? Ve'yesh rasha v'ra lo, and there's also evil people who have a miserable life. Amar lo, and so Hashem answered, Moshe, yeah, tzaddik betov lo, tzaddik ben tzaddik. So a tzaddik who has a good life is a tzaddik, son of a tzaddik. Tzaddik v'ra lo, tzaddik ben rasha. A tzaddik who has a bad life is a tzaddik whose father was a evil guy, a rasha. Rasha betov lo, a rasha, who has a good life is an evil guy, son of a righteous person. Rasha v'ra lo, and obviously the evil guy who's having a bad time, he's an evil guy, son of an evil guy. Okay. Amar tzaddik betov lo, and so a different opinion. Tzaddik betov lo, tzaddik ben tzaddik. Oh, they're gonna ask a question now. Amar Rav tzaddik betov lo. So we can understand, I guess. We have a tzaddik who's the son of a tzaddik, and life is good for him. And we also have a tzaddik who life is not good for him. And we say that he's a righteous person, son of an evil person. Ini, how could that work out? V'haktiv, isn't it written? Poked avon avot al banim. Isn't it written that Hashem will visit the sins of the fathers will extract or will get payment or whatever it is for the sins of the parents from the children? He'll get the payment or uchtiv, and it also says uvanim lo yamutu al avot. So we have, and then also says that the children are not going to die because of the father's actions. So we have two psukim that contradict each other, right? Okay. Uminan kerai hadade umashninan. And so urminahu, they're like putting them one against the other. And they're going to explain. Lo kasha, it's not a contradiction. Ha, shochazim ma'aseh avoteihem v'yideihem. Ha, over here, in the case where the children are going to pay for the parents' sins, it's when the children continue acting like the parents. And in the second case, where it says that the children will not get punished for the parents' sins, because the children, I don't know that they had the tshuva because they didn't have to return from something that they didn't do, but they changed way. They went a different direction. They became righteous people, even if the parents were evil. Okay. כן, צדיק מעשה אבותיהם בידיהם אלא אחי כאמר לי. Okay. אלא אחי כאמר לי. And so there's also a separate type of explanation they want to give on the same idea. Tzaddik betov lo, a tzaddik who has a good life, he's a tzaddik gamur. He's a complete tzaddik. Tzaddik gamur, according to the Balatanya, is someone who has no other desire in him other than to serve Hashem. That's a few in a generation.
If that. Well, we have the 36. How many tzaddikim deal with it?
The
Lamed Vav next.
Yeah. Okay. Tzaddik gamur. So a person who has a good life and it's a tzaddik. So tzaddik gamur. Tzaddik beralo. A tzaddik who has a hard time is a tzaddik sheino gamur. Which again, I don't know if it really applies, but it's someone who hasn't completely eradicated the Yitzhahara from his heart.
It's still tzaddik, but
Still
it's
tzaddik.
still some work to do.
I'm going to challenge you in a minute when you say the next thing. Okay.
Will you challenge me on what I might say?
No, I'm going to challenge that that idea, but I'll wait till I say the next thing.
Okay.
Rasha v'tovlo, Rasha, a evil guy, but has a good life, Ken Rasha she'ino gamur. Okay, so it's an evil guy.
How could it be that tzaddik, that's not a full tzaddik, has a bad life, but a rasha,
Who's not fully
just a little bit of a tzaddik, has a good life?
well, because probably he's going to discuss about the reward and the cleansing in this world versus the preparing you for the next world. So tzaddik gets a little, is Rava means he's getting a little cleansing, so when he goes to Shemayim, he gets just pure reward, whereas the rasha, he's a lost cause, so he gets the goodness here, but he won't get the goodness upstairs. But the rasha or the Rava, that's also because he's so bad.
It's no good.
He gets it bad here and there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
This is my answer. I don't know if that's the answer the Gemara gives.
Doesn't, but I'll accept it.
It's a good svar. Okay. צדיק שאינו גמור רשע וטוב לו, רשע שאינו גמור, כן, רשע ורע לו, רשע גמור, okay. It's more or less clear. I don't know. I don't feel. I think I might have skipped a line, but it's more. The idea is clear. It's pretty much clear. Okay, the guy, good guy, bad guy, half good, half bad. We get the idea. Ufliga de Rabbi Meir, de Amar Rabbi Meir, and so there's a bit of a, maybe a difference of opinion from Rabbi Meir. So we're here. It says Shnaim or Shtaim natnu lo v'achad lo natnu lo. So he says from the beginning. We read a couple lines already above, where Moshe asked for 3 things. He's saying only 2 Hashem granted, but the third one he didn't give to him. Shneimar v'chanoti et asher echon. As Hashem says, I will be merciful to whoever I will be merciful. AKA, you're not going to understand my logic. So that goes back to the passage that you read before, where the proof that they bring, maybe this is just my own shot from this, the proof that they brought to prove that Hashem gave the explanation to Moshe about how he judges the world. It's not really a proof. It's the pasuk is just Moshe asking. It doesn't tell us that he was granted the what he asked. Okay. So Hashem will be merciful to who he thinks he should be merciful to, even if the person does not deserve it. And I will be merciful, or I will give loving kindness to whoever I give loving kindness, even if he doesn't deserve it. And so Hashem says, you will not be able to see my face. I don't know if this is related. I want to start saying, maybe the face is described with like a deeper understanding of things that are deeper. Maybe there's an idea like that. I think the Gemara is taking slightly in a different direction now. But that's an idea also, that the back and the front, okay, maybe a certain level of understanding, Hashem didn't give over to Moshe. But now they're kind of switching gears a little bit. And you shall not be able to see my face. Says in the name of Yehoshua ben Kacha, Kach amar lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu leMoshe. This is what Hashem said to Moshe. Ksheratzita lo ratzita. When I wanted to show my face to you, you didn't want. It was in the sneh. Okay, you turn away. You don't want to see. I wanted to show you. And now ועכשיו שאתה רוצה, איני רוצה. And now you want, don't want. ופליג רבי ישמעאל בר נחמני, אמר רבי יוחנן. And so there's a difference of opinion also between Rabbi Yishmael bar Nachmani. I don't know. I think he's saying in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. The Amar Rabbi Yishmael bar Nachmani. Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Bischar shalosh. And so now they're saying that because Moshe did 3 things, so he merited 3 things from Hashem. Bischar vayastel Moshe panav. I mean, it's not that Moshe did something wrong by not looking at Hashem at the sneh. He's saying that he got schar for that. What was the schar? Zacha liklastel panim. Moshe had a certain radiance to his face. The people would be scared to approach him. Bischar ki yar'eh. Where does it say that? There's a ki yar'eh. You have it on call there? Like,
Yeah, it's
like what's the context of those two words? Which pasuk it's in?
Kiare. Hold on. You should feel his face. Because he feared. It's from, because it says feared. They feared to approach him. So the people feared to approach. It's from Shmot. So they're talking about the people feared to approach Moshe.
And okay, זכה ויראו בגשת אליו, גם בשכר שם. Okay, so the people were scared to like you said, to approach Moshe, ki yar'eh. But he doesn't bring it here. I don't know. I try looking at it again. I'm not seeing it here. You show me one second. שרציתי את זה. את זה. כתב בנשי בנים זכה ויראו מגשת אליו. מוזר. It doesn't. It brings in the ki yar'eh. Do you have it over there? Like those two words, ki yar'eh. It's saying because ki yar'eh, so it's describing Moshe's behavior. Then zacha, so he merited ve'il'u migeshet elav. So he merited that the people will be a little bit hesitant to come towards, that they will be scared to approach him.
Which passage are you taking?
It just says ki yar'eh. I don't know what the context is. He doesn't bring the explanation here. Ki yar'eh. Ken, as it says, zacha liklastel panim. Period. Bischal ki yar'eh. In the merit of ki yar'eh.
Okay.
Does he?
Well, the pasuk is Vayomer Anochi Elokei Avicha Elokei Abraham Elokei Yitzchak Elokei Yaakov Vayaster Moshe Panav Ki Yareh Mehabit El Elokim.
Oh. So
Ki Yareh Mehabit. Okay.
So he was scared to look at Hashem. So because he had that type of like reflect, I don't know, it's like with the he had that. So then Hashem rewarded him by giving him a certain level of respect that the people feared him. And as you read over there, it continues from the word mehavit, from looking. So kir'eh is like one thing, like he was we could say he was fearful of looking. But here the separating, say he was fearful. That's in general. Okay. So, but he also didn't want to look. Zacha utmunat Hashem yavit, and so he merited that he would see some type of tmunat Hashem yavit. I don't know. It's tmunat is a picture. Hashem yavit. He would see the picture of Hashem. Hashem doesn't have a picture, but he will get a deeper understanding of Hashem. Okay, v'asiroti et kapai v'raita et achorai. And so therefore, Hashem said to him, I will take away my hand, I will put away my hand, and you can see the back of my head. Amar Rav Chana bar Bizna Amar Rabbi Shimon Chasida. So the rabbi say, Melamed she'er'a Kadosh Baruch Hu leMoshe kesher shel tefillin. And so Hashem showed Moshe as you have in the picture over there, the back knot, the dalet of his tefillin. Ve'amar Rabbi Yochanan mishum Rabbi Yossi kol divor b'divor she'yatza mipei HaKadosh Baruch Hu letova. And another idea, everything Hashem says letova. Afilu al t'nai, even if he says on condition. Lo chasar bo, he doesn't go back on it. Minalan, where do we learn this? Mimoshe Rabbeinu sheneimar. We learn this from Moshe Rabbeinu, as it says, Er'ef mimenu v'ashmidem. Hashem said to Moshe, stand back, I'm going to annihilate, kill all of them after the golden calf. I'm going to kill everybody. And then he says, and I shall ve'yaseh otcha legoy atzum, and I will make you a great nation. Obviously, Moshe intervened, saved the Jew. Hashem did not. We're still here, but af al gav devia Moshe racha me'ala demiltabat la'afilu achi ot mivazare. Even though, right, the Gezerah was pushed off and whatnot, Hashem still blessed Moshe with becoming a big nation. How do we know this? Shneimar b'nei Moshe Gershom ve'Elazar, the children of Gershom ve'Elazar, Eliezer, ve'hiu b'nei Eliezer Revaya Rosh, v'gomer. And the children of Eliezer were like a large amount. Revaya Rosh, how do you call that? It's like a
She says sons of Eliezer. It doesn't say. It's just Revaya.
Rechavia Harosh, v'gomer ubnei Rechavia Rabu lemala. And the children of Rechavia became they multiplied a lot. Vetane Rabbi Yosef, and Rabbi Yossi said, Lemala mishishim rivo, which is what, 600,000?
Yeah.
They became more than 600,000. Revaya, Tiv. Acha, Rabu lemala, Uchtiv atam ubnei Israel paru, Yishratu ve'yirbu.
We're at the bottom of the.
So it's a similar idea of the same lashon that's using when we made it to Goshen at the beginning of the same language over there that we became the whole story we became 600,000. So they're doing like a comparison. They're saying that's as many children as eventually Moshe Rabbeinu, descendants of Moshe Rabbeinu.